Welcome to the farm. Our next interview is with Frauke Bolten. From Germany all the way to Kununurra, Frauke tells us about her unforgettable journey here in Australia, covering love, loss, and the resilience of this beautiful, brilliant woman. In today's interview, we are able to share that powerful true story and her lifetime. And we talk about not only her book, which has been released, A Diamond in the Dust, which is a biography which covers more of what we can discuss in today's interview, but as well as her Kimberley Fine Diamonds business as it is today. A trigger warning for those who are listening today. Today's interview does touch on mental health and suicide. If you need help, please reach out to Beyond Blue or Lifeline. Before we jump into today's interview, I'd love to give a shout out to today's supportive link, Thermomix. Cook smarter, not harder with the TM6 Thermomix and Cookie Doo subscription. The Cookie Doo subscription gives you thousands of recipes at your fingertips, all on screen of your TM6. Let Thermomix and the Cookie Doo subscription help inspire and help plan meals on the go or during the week. Whether you are harvesting, sowing, planting, or anything else in between, including shearing and other high impact times on the farm, let the Thermomix take stress off you by helping you do all your cooking and inspiration. To find out more about the Thermomix, click the link in description below. Or if you're ready to go on the Thermomix journey, then please select Katja Williams at checkout. And I look forward to working with you with your Thermomix. Now let's jump into today's interview. Start by introducing yourself, your family, and where you were born.
Yes, my name is Frauke Bolten-Boshammer. My maiden name is Seaman, and I have no sense of directions. I'm now married to Robert Boshammer. He's a true Aussie, but with a very German background. I was born in Germany, in Flensburg, which is the most north town of Germany, and 10 kilometers further is Denmark. And I know where Princess Mary has her summer palace. I have 5 kids and 12 grandkids, and that's my biggest achievement in my life. It's not the book, it's not the shop, but family is everything.
Yeah, beautiful. That's really beautiful. So when did you leave Germany and how did you come to be where you are now?
Yeah, I might need to say that we lived a year in Africa too. And that's where my first husband, Friedrich, got the idea, oh, I like tropics, I like warm weather. But he always was on the go, oh, where can we invest? We have friends in Costa Rica, we have relatives in Brazil, and he always was on the lookout where to invest a bit money. And then he flew with friends to Australia and fell in love with. So normally when I picked him up, he talked about moving, and I said, no, I'm not moving. I'm very happy where we are, and that's what it is.
Beautiful. So you moved out to Kununurra. You were married and you had 3 kids at the time. Yeah. How young were they at the time?
Fritz was 11, Margit was 10, and our much wanted son Peter was 1.5. In Perth, when we showed we had only a one-way ticket to Kununurra, the hostess asked, do you know what Kununurra is like?
So what were your first impressions when you landed in Kununurra?
I didn't like it. No, I can't say that. Look, flying over it, so isolated, and it was April. We arrived the 12th of April, 81. I remember the dates. I'm quite good with numbers. It was also dry and oh, look, and I mean, it's in the book that I went then shopping and the flower had weevils in it, and we didn't have that in Africa. So I went back to the shop owner and said, listen, this I can't take this. Yeah, but it was all they had, it's all they had.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things came and they stayed for weeks in the shop, and that's what happens. So we had to sieve it through, is that the right word for it,
Yeah.
to make a cake. Oh, it wasn't easy. It was not easy.
No. What else were some of the differences that you first experienced when you moved there?
Yeah, look, the house was so dirty. We bought a ready-made house, but it was so dirty. Look, coming from Germany, you are clean, and the former owner, she let young girls clean, and of course, if they don't know what to do, that's what it is. She had other things on her mind, and yeah, but it's so spidery, so many geckos. We paid Fritz 10 cents each for each gecko he caught. No, it wasn't easy. And we had in Germany a very nice house, a very nice farm. It wasn't that we money-wise needed to do this to come here. No, wasn't like that at all.
Yeah. And I believe in part of your book, you write about your first wet season and how you didn't realize that it would not only rain outside in the wet season, but because of the humidity, it would rain inside. So how did you end up stopping that from happening?
Yeah, it was a big storm, and if somebody knows what can happen here, it was a huge storm with thunder, lightning, big clouds, and our house was not so isolated, and we had French doors, so it rained into the house. And that was Christmas Eve, and we celebrate Christmas Eve. That comes from my German background, and wow, that was a wake-up call for sure. And my husband Friedrich just had put mung beans in the soil, and the soil was so sealed from this heavy rain that he needed to do it again, and that was his first crop he had made. So that was already a first blow to him.
Yeah.
Because whatever we have done, we needed to borrow money to buy in the beginning, we had 3 farms, which was about 1,000 hectares, all irrigated, and he needed to go from one farm to the other to use the water allocation, because we had some water allocation free of charge. And if you used more, you had to pay more for it.
Yeah.
You paid water rates, but that's how it was back in 42 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you were brand new to the farms and to the area, you're a mum of 3 fairly small children still. What was your main role each day on the farm?
Not a lot. No, I just looked after my kids and did cook and wash and what there is to do, and also to get used to the new area. I was first scared of snakes, of all the insects, the frogs. We have frogs in the toilet sometimes. I couldn't look under a bush. It was all so scary, so scary.
How did you ease some of that scare and some of the anxiety some of those new animals and area would have caused?
I would say my kids started to love it. That made me more happy. And my husband was very good. Even when I needed to go, say, to the toilet at night time, he came with me to the toilet. He was very understanding, which was nice. Yeah. And the nice thing coming to Kununurra was there are so many nice people here. We got invited after 3 days to come for dinner. Honestly, 3 days we were in Kununurra, or have been, what's the best English, and we got invited by an neighbor, which was only 200 meters away or so, which was so nice. We were very welcome to come to Kununurra.
Beautiful. Sounds like it was a wonderful community. And tell me about that first acceptance and that first dinner and how that started creating your community there.
We felt quite welcome, as I said, and quite happy. I mean, you drink a wine, and maybe at that time I had a cigarette with my new friend Judy. My husband hated me smoking, and I wasn't a smoker, but just to sometimes annoy him a bit. Yes, but it was just nice. But it's also, food is so different. Everything is so different. We are not English, you know. I never have eaten a pie, and I won't eat a pie, for example. I won't have the Christmas pudding. You can have German desserts with us.
Was there a certain Australian cuisine that you did get used to eating that you do enjoy now?
Yeah, a coleslaw example. I'm not sure if that is Australian or American or English, but we eat salad a bit different. But now I think you find it in Germany too. But 42 years ago, no, we didn't have that. We didn't have that.
Yes. And so how soon after being in Australia did your other children come to be on the farm with you as well? Because you landed and arrived in Australia with 3 and you had, did you say 5 in total?
Yeah, look, money got very tight. We needed to borrow money to do this adventure. I call it still an adventure. And we needed to sell our German farm, which is still, I've just come back from there, and it's still such a nice area too. We needed to sell it, and then I knew we have to stay in Australia, and so I wanted another child. Even with my number 3, Peter, I had huge problems. With 15 weeks, I needed medication not to have contractions, and this medication is just so horrible. Even at midnight, I needed to take it, and you have so much heartbeat. Oh, it was. And I needed to stay nearly the whole time in bed. So it was quite a courage to decide, oh, let's have one more, a little baby. And that happened. So that's why we had number 4.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. And you've had some ups and downs while you have been in Australia. So can you tell us a little bit about those hurdles and emotional trials and how you came out the end?
Yeah. I also need maybe to say that I went to the doctor, and the doctor said to me, Frauke, you are depressed because where I lived. And he said, I only can say either you go back where you come from or you take medication. So just to be supportive of my husband, I took medication, and it helped. It helped, but it wasn't my field. But yeah, because we had to sell the farm, and Friedrich wanted it so bad, and he got himself run down. The day before it all happened, he walked behind soya beans in the heat, probably not enough water, and the next day he suicided. What can you do? What can you do? I thought mainly of my kids. And because my mother died when I was only 2, so I knew how it is to be without one parent. My kids were at boarding school. What am I doing? So I thought I moved to Perth, we leased the farm, and that happened anyway. I could lease it for the water and shire rates, so I was happy about it. I wanted to move to Perth, but then I met my second husband, Robert Boshammer, who also is a farmer. He wasn't a practical farmer then. He just had studied and did just some work on a farm, but not himself. But over the years, it has become good. And that's why we also wanted to have one child together. So we have our Katrina, Olga, And I had 2 miscarriages before that, but I was nearly 43. But if I determined what I can do, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. And so we have our 5th child, which was beautiful. I believe in God. I believe in God. He has helped. He has helped also to send Robert to us, because he's a wonderful man, a wonderful father. First time we met when the kids had come back from boarding school, he said, "Oh, I fell in love with the kids as well." It's so nice, so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so tell me about the new journey you then embarked on with your new husband and your children. Where did life take you from there?
Yeah, look, first, again, I did not need to work on the farm. First, we needed to get the farms back. We needed to get our machinery back, because Friedrich still had bought 3 Fendt tractors, and I wanted to send them back and get the money back and not have debt. But we got them back, and so Friedrich, Robert could see. Sometimes I mix them. Robert could start farming again, which was a learning curve. And I just, because we had then melons, watermelons, rock melons, and we had 30, 40 people. And I started to cook sometimes for them, because they work so hard and live in a tent sometimes. And so that's what I did.
Yeah.
That's what.
And what would be your favorite dish to cook for them?
Oh, roast. You can feed a lot of people with roast. And I make a very good German gravy. Don't ask me for the recipe, please. And these poor people said, oh, and potatoes, and veggies and dessert. Really, I spoiled them. Yeah, that was my fun. But not that I say that I didn't. I always had the little urge to do something of my own, not to be only. You can see what I do. Only be a farm wife. We started a jewelry shop, but I must say we put money into a jewelry shop where a friend was there, and their marriage split up and she needed money. So we had some exhibitions here, and they were so successful. And then we had an empty shop here in town, and I started as a novice. I say I always like a virgin as a child, which is impossible, because by then we had Katrina. Katrina was just a year, and to start a new, yeah. But I can't look back, and it's going well and successful, and yeah.
Beautiful. And for those listening who aren't sure where you are now, you're now running the Kimberley Fine Diamonds. You're not far from the mine itself, and some of the most beautiful diamonds, pink diamonds in the world.
Yes.
Tell us how the business started, like how you built it to where it is today.
To build, no, I started just to have a table on our front veranda, and sold, and I got that from the purse shop. Just some rings and some necklaces, and that it was very small, from the people who came back from the mine and had a look there. And from then, it started to that we bought our own jewelry, and started the shop. Cost Stories, my business partner and purse, helped me to look. I was not into retail business at all, but you can do lots if you put your energy into it, and that too. Energy and love into it. It was exciting. Tell me, who doesn't like jewelry? Yes. And the mine, why I'm here, the mine is only 1.5 driving away from us, and the pink diamonds are so very special. They're very special. And that's what I invested and whenever I could, when I had money, I bought some pink diamonds. So I would say we are one of the biggest supplier of pink diamonds still in Australia. Maybe not the biggest, diamonds itself, but we have lots of small ones too, because the prices go up and up. It's a good investment, but they are expensive, even for me to buy.
And is the mine still operating just near where you are now, or is it's rumored to shut?
It has shut 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Not that they knew there are more diamonds down there, but because they went underground, and it was caving in. There's a lot of water too, because Lake Argyle, the biggest man-made lake, is nearby. There was so much water, and it was in very big heat. It was not cost too much money to do more, so they closed it.
And they were producing up to, I believe, 90% of the world's pink diamonds.
Yeah, one reason is they have very intense colors, and only the Argyle mine has it as intense. You find it in paler ones in South America, and even now are here in Russia and Africa, but not in this intense color. And Argyle has done the marketing fantastic once a year. They still do. My manager just has been down to Perth and had another look at another tender stones. Tender means you need to offer your money in writing. It's a silent auction, and so if you beat the most, you get it, but then you have to pay in a week's time too. It's not they send it to you and then you can't pay. But it's very exciting. I mean, they also have brought the champagne diamonds onto the market. Have also some blue ones and some green ones, but very rare is all that.
If someone was moving, say, from Germany or somewhere else in the world to remote Australia, to a part of the world where you are now, what would be your top information that you would give them to help them find their feeting when they first reach here?
I would invite them straight away for dinner and say, listen, we haven't got this and this. Now, when we first came, the bread was only white bread. We only had frozen milk. It has become so much better.
Yeah.
Oh no, not even frozen milk. We had only powdered milk. All this sort of thing I had to live with, So just be nice and be positive. Stay positive. Right. One reason why I did write the book is that, unfortunately, we lost our son Peter, our much wanted son, to suicide too. That's one reason why I opened up, and it's quite personal, I think, to warn people if somebody in the family has done it, or friends. It is just more acceptable. And what I did not know, you can even inherit the tendency to that. I unfortunately have to say another cousin, or a nephew of ours, did it too. He was older than Peter, but please watch, especially your sons. Be careful there. Our Peter was introverted, so he didn't talk enough. Talk. It's all I can say. Talk. I'm now in peace with it. It's nearly 23 years ago, but it still hurts. But what can you do? And the Lord has helped me. Yeah, it's. I even see you blinking. You blinking a bit too. It's horrible. It's just, and we don't know why. We don't know why. It's my husband. I knew he wasn't happy how it was running, and money was running out, but with Peter we have no clue whatsoever. But at least we found him, because that's other people lose their kid and never get an answer. At least we have that. I always have said it could have been worse, because the police thought he was murdered first, the way he was found. And luckily that didn't happen, because then you start to hate the person who would have done it, and hate is horrible. Oh, this hate in the world. Just look at the wars we have in the moment. It's horrible.
Yeah.
No, I'm in peace with it. What can you do? And I have wonderful, wonderful family. We stick together. Every Sunday, I invite my family to come for breakfast, who is in Kununurra. And I do that for nearly 35 years, every Sunday. Wonderful.
That's beautiful. And you've got such a beautiful growing family. Did you say
Yes.
12 grandchildren?
12 grandchildren. The oldest is 27, and the youngest from when our daughter with Robert, she has just a girl which is just 15 months old now. It's wonderful.
Oh, that's very good. That's very
Yes.
good. If someone was moving into the community where you are now or onto a farm, you've mentioned, invite people over for dinner, get to know people, be nice and polite. Is there anything else that you would tell them to do?
Yes, play a sport. I played tennis, and after 3 weeks, I always say if people come new to town, after 3 weeks you are local, and you learn to meet people which maybe otherwise I would have only met farmers, but I met business people and whatever, that's so nice. Have a sport, and look, if you have kids at school, that's help at school and do some reading with the kids in the class, something like this that helps you to get there.
Yes.
And then when it really comes to a tragedy, the people are wonderful here. I mean, look, when Peter died, I didn't need to, and it was so hot. It was in January. We had the funeral at 6:30. And we had over 300 people for the funeral, for people there. The food, everything was donated. I didn't need to do anything. Where do you find that? Where do you find that? We had a man who lost his legs, and the people came together in an accident, and so we donated quite a bit in the auction and so on. So he has a very nice mobile thing, and that's what Kununurra people do.
Yeah.
Because it's not always easy here. It's not always easy, but we can't have it all. That's a long saying for me. We can't have it all.
No, that's very beautiful. Thank you very much for joining me here on the farm today and having a chat with the community.
Yes. Thank you, and all the best for you too.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. We hope that you've learned lots of tips, tricks, hacks through today's interview. If anything has been triggering for you, please reach out to Lifeline or Beyond Blue. If you enjoy hearing stories about those moving to the farm for the first time or back into a family farming operation, then this is the channel for you. Please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Nominations are also open for season 5 of So You've Married a Farmer, Now What? If you know someone who has moved to the farm for the first time, tips, tricks, and knowledge to share, please nominate them via the website. The address is in the description below. We are now also taking on channel sponsors. If you own a business which is supporting people moving to the farm for the first time, the agricultural industry, women in the bush, then please contact us via the nomination form on the website. And I look forward to discussing with you a partnership moving forward. Until next time, thanks for joining me here on the farm.